The tragedy of Nigeria began in 1986 when we did the structural adjustment program, when we were persuaded to devalue our currency every week for 32 years. When I went to school, and many of you are here, the naira was $1.50. The naira was almost £1 sterling. They came here, persuaded some brilliant men from Harvard and the World Bank that weekly devaluation was wonderful. 32 years of devaluing your currency.
There was a particular news that is flying up on social media about kidnapping in Ghana. They said 2 children was kidnapped in Ghana.
The criminal activities of Nigerians in diaspora, in Ghana, in South Africa, in fact, in all these countries, both African and non-African countries, have become something very, very worrisome that it has got a lot of people talking. And as for today, quickly straight off for what we have, I want to show us what Nigerians are doing in Ghana. Recently, Nigerians were caught kidnapping 2 children in Ghana. On this hand, Nigerians were caught in South Africa unaliving 2 South Africans as a result of the fact that they are claiming that the illegal drug pushing, selling, powder selling that they indulge in South Africa, right? That is even a heavy crime, that South African citizens stole their drugs. Like, hey God, this is crazy. This is insane. This is absolutely insane, guys. See, this is coming from the horse's mouth, and my brother, Mr. Manager, will also show us, tell us more about this. One of my brother from South Africa, Prince Will, who most times when I sit down and have a conversation with him, the kind of things he exposes to me that Nigerians are doing in South Africa, I feel so ashamed of myself. Indeed, I feel so embarrassed. But let's not talk too much. Watch this video to the end and listen to where the Nigerian government has come out to expose to the world, whether you're a Ghanaian, an African, where the problem of Nigeria lies, like some part of the major problems of Nigeria, how it all started and why Nigeria is where it is today. And a brave Ghanaian lady as well has come out to also make a very great point, sending a very important message to Nigerians and all Africans and Ghanaians. Let's take a look at this video, guys, without sentiment, emotions, no bias. Like this video for my sake and stay subscribed, most importantly, if you like it on here, and I will see you at the end.
Again, I mean, I didn't want to talk about anything concerning Nigeria, Ghana anymore, but I have watched videos about Nigerian youths teaming up to put Ghana in the bad light, and that has forced me to come out today to talk about it again. So I have watched a video where Nigerian young guys group together, including their women, and they are planning how to sabotage the name of Ghana. They believe that Ghanaians are trying to put Nigeria in a bad light. And I ask, before Ghanaians came out to call Nigerians out in their country, did Ghanaians went to South Africa to tell South Africans how bad Nigerians were? No. Did Ghanaians went to or goes to Kenya to tell Kenyans about how bad Nigerians were? No. Did Ghanaians go to India or Dubai to tell their citizens how bad Nigerians are? No. Whether you Nigerian youths, you team up to set up your camera, thousands of them, to destroy the name Ghana, that is really not matter. What matter is that if they put Nigerian and a Ghanaian in a different land, Nigerians will be the first to commit crime. Nigerians will be the first to be kicked out of that country. What I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter what people hear. What matters is that the deals they are dealing with Ghanaian personally, that will tell them who Ghanaians are. And it doesn't matter what Ghanaians says about Nigerians, but what matters is that it's about the foreigners dealing personally with Nigerians. That is what really matters. And I just watched a video where a Nigerian lady is saying that her boyfriend based in Ghana, her scamming boyfriend based in Ghana, and she is trying to tell people how well she knows Ghana and how Ghanaians are committing crime in Ghana and they are putting it in Nigeria. He said Nigerians cannot kidnap a Senegalese in Ghana, in Kumasi. It can only take a Ghanaian to do that. And he said Nigerians are not known for kidnapping other foreigners and killing them. And I asked, in the whole of Africa, not just West Africa, in the entire Africa, which of the country in Africa is known for killing, kidnapping, and demanding for ransom. If you guys claim that Nigerians are not known for that, whether you people group together to tarnish the name of Ghana or not, it's about how people deal personally with Ghanaians and how people deal personally with Nigerians. That would tell who is telling the truth. We Ghanaians, we don't want to open our mouth to be praising ourselves. That is why you guys doesn't even know that there are rich men in Ghana. Ghanaians are not known praising themselves. Their attitude and their behavior around other people tells them who Ghanaians are. So you people coming together trying to team up to destabilize and destroy the name of Ghana, that is bullcrap. That is not going to work. And you people claiming that you claim your boyfriend lives in Ghana, right? Ghanaian citizens are going to look for your boyfriend and they will know what he's doing in Ghana. Ghanaians are going to look for your boyfriend, to ask him what he's doing in Ghana and what is his occupation in Ghana. And that will prove to you that what you are trying to defend. You see, it's only you Nigerians that will set your cameras and you come to defend the bad habit of your people. Ghanaians don't do that. If you are moving with your sister or your brother as a Ghanaian and your sister have problem with another person and you know your sister or brother is not right, Ghanaian will not defend their own. They will discern by the truth. But you Nigerians, you are quick to defend the bad habits. And that is what the world has known you for. Ghanaians will not go and be telling the whole world who you people are. Your citizen goes there to destroy their country and they will chase them back. That is how people or the other country get to know how bad Nigerians are. Like years ago, everybody knew that Nigeria was bad. But your president do not go to other countries to tell them how bad his country is. It's you, the citizens, that are going wrong. And your attitude and your behavior is the one that telling people who you guys are. So you guys, whether you team up, whether you plan, whatever you are trying to do to Ghana, to destroy the name of Ghana, you guys are wasting your time. I can say that confidently. You guys are wasting your time. It's not going to work because Ghanaians personally have the good attitude. And if you guys say Ghanaians committing crime in their country and they're lying that it's Nigerians, let me ask you a question. Is Nigerian taboo to go back to their own country to commit crime? Why are they destroying their own country to a point where they cannot even live there? And they are distributing it to other innocent countries. What other countries are saying, including Ghana, is saying is that every Nigerians to go back to their country and they can commit whatever crime they want to commit. They shouldn't bring it to the other country. Ghana already have their own criminals and they are trying to get rid of them. But you people pouring your criminals back in Ghana make it more difficult for the government to know who their citizens, the citizens of the Ghanaian that are committing crime. Ghanaians never came, no Ghanaian will come on social media to say there are no criminals in Ghana. No, what Ghanaians are saying is that we want to deal with our own criminals. And we don't want other foreigners to come with their criminality to make the work difficult for our security system. So you Nigerians are misunderstanding everything because you know that that is who you guys are. You are embracing every accusation. You are embracing any bad thing that happened. And you claim that Ghanaians are the one that pushing it on you. No Ghanaian will come and defend bad attitude. No Ghanaian will see the red and say it is blue. You guys are known for doing that. You don't just do that in Ghana. You don't do that in South Africa. You don't just do that in Kenya. You carry it to Dubai, America, UK. If we're gonna go around and tell the whole world how bad you people are, how much does Ghanaians know you? If you don't go to tell other nations about who you are. So what I'm trying to say is that it's a high time you guys begin to call each other out. It is high time for all Nigerians, the good Nigerians, even bad ones, to begin to call each other out if you don't want to be tagged in a bad light. If you believe that you are a good Nigerian, if you see your brother or even your boyfriend doing something bad, you would call them out instead of standing bad lies because he's your brother or sister or your fiancé. That is what Ghanaians will not do. So today I would like to end this and we'll come back later if something come up. So what I'm trying to say is that if Nigerians, if you guys say you don't want bad name to be tagged as bad people, begin to call each other out if you see anything wrong, if you see any of them doing something wrong. That is the only way you can vindicate yourself from the bad name. And you have, for now, let me tell you guys for truth, the whole world know who you are because your citizens go there and tell people who you Nigerians are. Ghanaians will not go and be telling them who Nigerians are. South Africa.
That's a video that I want to talk about. It is these Nigerians who are here in our country selling drugs. The majority of them, we know that here selling drugs. I'm not saying all of them. The majority of them are here committing crime. And the majority of them are here killing our people. And that is the truth. And it's the truth that they don't want. And I'm not saying Nigeria does not have good people. And our government is doing nothing. They will be protected by the EFF. The same criminals They will be protected by this EFF who want to open borders. When Julius, where he stays, he has big walls. When our government officials, when business people are hiding behind big walls, they want to open up borders for ordinary South Africans who don't even have money to make a butler in front of their doors. They want to open doors for illegal foreigners who are destroying us, who are killing us. All of these politicians, you have seen them. Some of them, you ask yourself, where do they get the money to continue to live in these expensive houses, expensive walls? When ordinary South Africans are suffering, when ordinary South Africans are being murdered and butchered every day by illegal foreigners.
These two men have been arrested for this kidnapping and murder. Do we know what led police to apprehend them?
Yes, Michelle, the people you are seeing behind me here are actually family members of Gifty Comric, as well as some members of the community who are actually here to say that the two accused who are Nigerian nationals shouldn't be granted bail. And as far as the linking of these two to this case, we are told...
He said that two Nigerian foreign nationals took Gifty in a bush nearby. They took him down the bush and we asked him why, and he said no. They said that they wanted to kill him because allegedly he stole their drugs, something that we are not sure of as a family, but his best friend confirmed that information. And then the community took hands and we went in the bush looking for my brother, and that's where we found him, deceased in the river in the same bush.
I don't want to lie to you, Afetu. I'm disappointed with the people from Leidenberg in Mpumalanga that Ugifty does not have much support from these criminals who are hijacking our country, who are doing as they please. Nigerians left Nigeria to come to our country to sell drugs, to come to our country to kill our people, and we must accept that. That we should not accept. Rubbish should not be accepted. We have said so many times, these Nigerians are busy in our country selling drugs. And I don't understand how many times must we come here and report the same thing. I want to say this to the government of Nigeria. You must come and collect your criminals in our country. You must come and collect your drug dealers in our country. You are no more welcome in this country.
The tragedy of Nigeria began in 1986 when we did the structural adjustment program. When we were persuaded to devalue our currency every week for 32 years. When I went to school, and many of you are here, the Naira was $1.50. The Naira was almost £1 sterling. They came here, persuaded some brilliant men from Harvard and the World Bank that weekly devaluation was wonderful. 32 years of devaluing your currency until we hit 527. And they were still telling us that the Naira was still overvalued. That brought poverty, misery upon us. Then interest rates went to 30%. So nobody could build a factory, start a farm, produce anything, or create jobs. Because every time you bring in a shipload of rice, you also bring in a shipload of unemployment. Because you're transferring your wealth to sustain other economies. Somehow, Nigerians didn't notice it. So we became a nation of importers. Toothpicks. Each year it cost us $18 million. Importing toothpicks. Tomato paste, $400 million. So you talked about tomatoes now. One basket in town now is less than 2,000 naira. The farmers are losing money because the processors don't have enough funds to set up factories. You're going to do tomato paste with food-grade stainless steel. You can't just use anything because you'll be putting poison in people's stomachs. 2 factories have started off. I believe by the middle of next year, we can comfortably tell importers of tomato paste to stop. But when you do, you make enemies. Even the rights we're trying to reduce, we have enemies, heavy enemies, people who can kill if they have a chance, because you're spoiling their business. And let nobody take it lightly. These guys have seized this country's economy, they've taken us hostage, and they have no intention of giving up. Because this is a huge market, a very sweet market, and they have taken control. This regime is unpopular, in part because it is trying to cut down imports and transfer the wealth to our rural people. And I'm saying it because I have been in this business for 41 years and I can tell you some history. Abdullah Adamu is here. Import, milk, sugar, toothpaste, handkerchiefs, pencils. We don't make. To cure Nigerians of that malady will take a while. It will take a strong government. That's the truth. And they're not happy that we're cutting down. When we cut down, they lose money there. So you see all sorts of publications. We're telling lies. We're not growing rice. We're trying to demoralize the local farmers and make sure that the economy fails. That's the story of imports. Now, I read a story recently in the newspapers The French ambassador, the champagne ambassador in Nigeria, gave an article to The Guardian. He said Nigerians love life. We're the biggest consumers of champagne on planet Earth, more than the French who make it. There are parties you attend in some places where the only drink is champagne. Of course, the individual is free to spend his money, but his money comes from Nigeria's Commonwealth. So on imports, it will take a while for us to get used to local goods and accept that we should consume what we produce and produce what we want to consume. I take your point. We have to take 10 measures to cut down on imports because these young boys and girls who have no jobs today are not going to allow us to carry on enjoying life at their expense. They need jobs. They need jobs. They are children. They've graduated, they've come back home to begin a second childhood because there's no factory to employ them. And the ministries can't take any more. But somebody is making sure you fail.
Yesterday, there was a particular news that is flying up on social media about kidnapping in Ghana. They said 2 children was kidnapped in Ghana. Yesterday, where those 2 children was kidnapping. And finally, according to the news, finally, they find out that those people that kidnapped the children are Nigerians. The matter they tire me. Honestly, the matter they get as it be. Now the thing, that is what I hear this morning. They say the people that kidnapped those children, 2 children, they say that they be Nigeria. I don't even know. That's what I hear. Or it's just that they want to accuse Nigerian, because yesterday I hear that, yeah, those people that kidnapping, how they call it, the children, one Ghanaian man. But today now, according to the news, today now, they say person that kidnapping those 2 children be Nigerian, not Ghanaian. This news tough, oh. It's tough. Oh yeah, let's listen to the news. Stay.
I say, yeah, Ghana has turned into this way, and people are just sitting down and unconcerned. President and people who are interior minister, foreign affairs minister, everybody is unconcerned, even when the nationality of the person is so real. Nipa bako, uche nkwala minu. Takwa fo, mabumfu kula si bibia, anka se manka mo nam manka mo threaten mo MP ni mo DC ni ade ade anka nchemo. Because it's too much. Mo hwe takwa fo enjoy info no. Go fu say bibi no. Wo pen ho mo power ni so.
All right, guys, I'm happy, very excited that this whole thing are coming out. But it's becoming too in season to the point that you ask. I ask, is there any passing day now as we speak currently in Ghana, in South Africa, in Kenya, all these countries that I'm creating this awareness that Nigerians will not be spotted on in one crime or the other? And in return, turning the table around, how many times in a month do we hear that there's a Ghanaian that has been caught in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, kidnapping, stealing, unaliving, drugging, and all these things we are seeing Nigerians do in Ghana, in South Africa? How many times have we even recorded a South African involved in one crime or the other outside their country? I mean, outside their country. How many times? Google, research about it. How many times do we see Ghanaians doing all these things, okay, in our own country as Nigerians? Right? Let's face fact. If all these things we are seeing Nigerians do in all these countries, let's assume that is the same way, the same energy Ghanaians, Kenyans, South Africans are coming to Nigeria to, do the same. How are we going to feel as Nigerians? Of course, we will not care because anything and everything most times can go in Nigeria. The lady that spoke, vehemently well, made mention that as Nigerians are planning and plotting and trying to defame, demarcate the country Ghana, is it Ghana that sends Nigerians to all these countries as we have seen today in South Africa, in Ghana, in Cameroon, in US, in UK, China, Libya, Mali, name it, all over the world? I ask again in her own voice, is it all these African countries, is it Ghana that sends Nigerians to all these countries to commit all this crime? Kindly answer in the comment section if you're a Nigerian. Because it's like, I need to be directing all these questions to us as Nigerians. Because I know most of you come here, watch and go. Pretend as if you don't watch. Because you're always in the business of anything that, we favor Nigeria. Even in your evil, your criminality. You see, one thing I like about nature and karma. If you support evil, evil will get to your doorstep. In one way or the other. Whether you or your family member or your relative, anyone you love the most, will be affected in that crime, that evil that you're supporting. You're covering up against other countries that are crying and wailing and saying, enough of this, your crimes in our country. We don't want you again. Look at it. It's South Africa saying, we don't need Nigerians again. Ghanaians are saying, go back to your country. Now, what is too difficult to listen, to understand, to obey and adhere to as a Nigerian? What part of the language, the English, don't you understand? When you are in this act of crime, criminality, you are like a mad person, a mentally unstable person, imbecile, a deformed person. So you are not even seeing it as, that you are mentally unstable. It is people who are normal that will see you as an abnormal person, as a deformed person, as a deranged person. That's how it is. Imagine a madman. Does he feel embarrassed? Does he feel ashamed? No. He moves naked. That's how these criminals act and behave. Because they are not stable. Which normal human being in their correct state of health, mental state, will be acting all these things and still claiming rights? Apart from Nigerians. It is only Nigerians that I see that are into crime in their numbers, on the hike, and are still supporting it, clapping hands for themselves. When you point a finger at them and telling them the truth to their face, no accountability, no responsibility, no iota, atom of change in them. But let a Ghanaian or a South African mistakenly do the wrong thing, commit any crime, you will see the way their own will bash on them. From their home training, their upbringing, they train them to detest crime, forbid crime. If you are a criminal, you get your wealth in an ill-gotten way, your family members will start, petitioning you. They will start, flogging you even before you get exposed. This is what I've observed about Ghanaians, South Africans, and others. It's not that there's no crime going on in all this country. But they are saying, like you heard this Ghanaian lady, don't add to their crime so that as their government is tackling crime in their country, right, they will know that it is their own. They know how to deal with themselves, their own criminals. Don't add to their own crime. Don't expand, compound their issues, their problems. It's already enough for them. South Africans are facing, government crisis, illegal crisis. The same thing with Ghanaians now. All countries have their issues they are dealing with. They are not done with that. Why should it be you Nigerians coming into their countries, going into their countries to add to their problems, to compound their problems? Why? Why? As a Nigerian, do you know the image? Do you know the damage you people are causing on us? The stereotype. Once you mention, where are you from? You're a Nigerian. I have, relatives outside the country. They tell me every day how much, discrimination, stereotype, they face as Nigerians. And these people are innocently living in other people's country. I have siblings outside. If I speak with them on phone, I know how, they feel about the criminal activities. You would think maybe I'm streamlining it to tribe. No, I have friends that are Igbos, Yoruba, Hausa, different tribes that are reasonable and responsible. And they don't have any problem with the way I, condemn crime because they hate the crime too. They are against crime. So these people are on my channel, they watch me. So before you come to say you're a hater of Igbo, see, crime has no tribe. But when a particular tribe is mostly known for crime, there's something is wrong somewhere. It's high time the people who think they are normal, they are, not the same with them. Take a bold step to, call out their own. If you're an Igbo, call out your fellow Igbo brothers. If you are a South, call out your fellow South. A Hausa, call out your own. Yoruba, call out your own. Nigerians, we call out ourselves, regardless of the tribe. Because that's the only way we can, experience change. Look at that politician that spoke at length, voiced out the problem of Nigeria, how the dollar was doing well, how the country was in order, even in 1986, when I was not even born. Until that time, since that time, it's like before I came into this world, Nigeria don't scatter safe, you see? Before I opened my eyes inside this country, Nigeria, that is when the problem had already started. Till date, I was born into this country, inside Wahala, till date. At least I would say, before it got to this chaotic and, worthless, uncontrollable state, I think when I was growing up as a child, I enjoyed a bit. When we were using coins, money was a thing. Even when I went to my primary and secondary school, I enjoyed Nigeria small. That time, kidnapping was not rampant. Ritualism, all these things, 419, they were there, but they were not rampant. They were always there. But now, as we speak, it's like the gate of hell is let loose for all the demons to invade into Nigeria. And the thing has consumed Nigeria to the point that it's no longer containing in this over 300 million of citizens and country. They are now exporting and sharing it. That is what virus does. You know, it spread around everywhere you go. They are not taking it around. Anywhere they enter, boom, the virus takes over. Look at what is happening in Ghana now. As Ghanaians are screaming, South Africans are screaming, Kenyans are screaming. Other ones that have not, we've not heard their voice, Senegal have felt it. Other countries are feeling the heat of Nigerians. Why the Westerners, the British cannot, feel it so much is because Nigerians are scared of them. They know that you go there, you do anyhow. Immediately they useless you, they condemn you, imprison you, sentence you, or deport you straight back to sender where you're coming from. That's why when they go to this white people's country, they comport a bit, but still the crime will not leave them because it's in their DNA. Keep a Ghanaian, South African, Kenyan, any other country, keep a Nigerian, they will first be they will be the first people to engage in crime. That is no lies. I concur to what that woman is saying. And if you're a Nigerian listening to me, you don't like to hear these things, you're a criminal. Listen to my word very well. You are a criminal. You have criminal DNA in your blood. Go and check. You're either a liar, a hypocrite, a 419er. In one way or the other, you're associated with crime. It's karma. Check. Because if you're not a criminal, you will understand me. It is only people. I don't care the country or anybody listening to me. If you are not a criminal, you will understand and flow with me. If you regurgitate towards crime, you understand and flow with me. But if you are a criminal, you will hate me. You will not like me. You will not even want to listen to me. But who cares? I am here to, call out my own and speak out, against what my own they are doing in all this country. Anywhere, any day, anytime. That is my area of specialization. If you want to be promoting Nigeria in the criminality, corruption, and everything, that is your own. I'm not, here to fight or banter words with anybody. If you want to support all this crime, continue. Remember, like I said, nemesis, karma will always catch up with you. But my truth will always set me free and protect and defend me and keep me. My life is not in the arms of any human being. My life is in the hands of God and that of my family members. And no weapon in any means formed against me or anyone I know, nor my subscribers, my family, my followers will prosper. So this is where I want to draw the line and leave us to share our thoughts based on all we've seen in the comments. Let's have this conversation. I'm thinking of coming live by God's grace anytime soon, but because of my tight schedule behind the camera, it's what has really, deprived me of that. But I'll come out live anytime from now. Let's see how we can address things. So this is where we draw the line. If you like it on here, please stay subscribed. Like this particular video for me. Share this video for more people to see and stay subscribed. And I will see you in my next one. Do have a blessed day out there. This is me signing out. Ciao.